Hey, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well out there, having a great Wednesday and all that. Just turn up my volume a little bit. So I got a little time to work on some code today. And but I just hit this record button. Today we're going to continue on with our DJ project and going to look at how to get metadata into our project. So basically we got this DJ app that I'm going to share my screen with you on. Oh, that's my LinkedIn. It's that. So okay, so I've been following along with the streams and everything. We have this DJ app that we've been working on for few weeks now, on and off. And yesterday we did a little bit of work on the actual deck itself, so the audio player itself. We started creating these label fields where we could load the song name and the artist name. But the problem is that we need to actually figure out how to get the data off of the song or the track that we load and actually get it in here. So I started doing a little bit of exploring on this, and luckily there is there seems to be a handy function in the audio format reader class that is called, let me find it. Let's see, where is it? Metadata values. And so we have this this public attribute that returns a string pair array that should, I'm hoping, should read something like artist, and then the artist name, track name, so on and so forth. So that's what we're going to try to get working today. So so I've got a little bit over an hour to get this working. I think that should be pretty possible. So one thing that I do know is that for anybody that's ever used a DJ application like Serato or Tractor, is that a lot of times in DJ apps, MP3, metadata reading in audio files can be a little bit of a minefield, in that metadata for WAV and AIFF formats, I think, is quite difficult, or at least this last time I checked with Serato, it doesn't really read it very well, if I remember correctly. But MP3 data reads fine. But we'll just put it in here and see what happens. So so as I said, we have this string pair array of metadata values. And so first thing that we're going to do is we're going to try to just load a track here and then see if we could just console out some values, get some values out of this string pair array and see what the data actually looks like. So that feels like a pretty good starting point. So we have this function called load song. So if we go in here, we have all of this good stuff that where we create a reader. So essentially, let me bring you through this function here for anybody who hasn't been following along. We have this file chooser where what we do is we hit the load button. It opens up a file chooser where we're able to select a file. Then then once we do that, then we get the result, which is going to be an audio file of some type. We then need to create a reader for it. So what that means is that we are taking this wave, this audio file, we're creating a reader. Then what we need to do is read the we have to read the audio information into a audio buffer, which is just kind of a space in memory. And then while we have this reader, what we could do is we can actually take this reader and use this to get the values. So that's where we're going to start here. So what I will do here is I'm just going to add a line, and let's call this auto metadata equals reader. This is a pointer, metadata values. So just to show you what I'm getting that from is, by the way, this other little wrinkle that I forgot to mention here that we did the other day is that we have this, when we create the reader, it returns a raw pointer. And what I'm doing is I'm wrapping that raw pointer in a unique pointer into a unique pointer, a smart pointer. So, I mean, it's only being used for this function just locally, but I think it's a little bit cleaner. It's a little bit more modern, I guess. And so that's what that's about. So then we can use that reader to actually get the metadata values from this array. So what we could try to do here is do a for loop. So because this is a string pair array. Let's just go into that class really quick and see what that looks like. So so we got this get all keys, get all values. Let's see here. Get description returns a descriptive string containing the items. So let's see here. A container for holding a set of strings which are keyed by another string. So I'm guessing this is okay. So we got get value. So just figuring out how to actually use this thing. So finds the value corresponding to a key string. And then we have one that returns. So we got a string array that contains all keys. So looks like it's so we could do something like, before we go into the for loop, we can do something like metadata keys equals metadata get all keys. So that returns all the keys in the array. Then we could do So we'll do an old school for loop here. I is less than metadata dot size I plus plus. Then we could do so we're going to want something like we'll just do something like std out metadata keys I, just to see what that key is. Then let's see here. So we could get so we got this get value, finds the value corresponding to a key string. So const string and return default return value. Okay. So you could say auto value equals metadata get value string reference would be meta keys, and then default return value we could just leave with an empty string. Okay, so now we can just iterate on this a little bit. We'll move this down under here. And we'll do std out key. And then that will be key. And then value and value. So shall we try that? I think that that seems fine. So I do have a sample MP3 that we can try here. So I'm going to hit load. Got this test track MP3. So we can, I just put test track and I think I put an artist in there. So, okay, interesting. Did not seem to do anything. Okay. So that did not go to plan. Okay. So here we go. So let's just try this again. So I'm going to set a breakpoint just here in the function. Hit load. Okay. So that executes fine. And then launches. And then it returns false. Interesting. So what happened there? Okay, so let me just rebuild this again. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back here again. So this launches. Oh, maybe it's because I'm, maybe I need to do this. See if it goes inside here. Let's see. Try this again. Doesn't execute that. Okay, if I do this. Okay, I'm going to just try to play it. Okay, so it loads fine. Okay, so the tracks actually load fine. But why? Okay, let's set a breakpoint there outside the for loop. Okay. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. So we got metadata, keys, strings, values, elements, 0. So there's nothing in there. That's interesting. That is not what I anticipated. Okay, so metadata keys. Excuse me 1 second. Strings, values, there's none. There's nothing in there. Interesting. Okay, so there's no metadata. There's no metadata in there. Okay, so let's see what that's all about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load Serato for a second. See what happens here. So Serato is loading. Okay. This one shows song, test track, artist, DJ at war, length. So it's empty. It's so strange. That is very strange. Okay, now let me just load that up in Apple Music. So songs. So let's see this thing, the way that they've reorganized this. Okay, so let me just try to pop it in here, see if what is it doing? Okay, what is going on here? So I just need to. Okay, so this is. So is this 1 second here? Okay, cool. So this is a good one to try. So I will call this test track. And artist is, why did it all of a sudden do that? Okay. So now, okay, So I've replaced that now on my desktop. And now let's try this again and see if this works. So go ahead and load test track. Still doesn't show anything. What is that all about? Have I used this properly or what? Okay, so let me just console out metadata dot size. What is this about? Okay, so I hit load. There were no, there's no metadata in there. That is so strange. Okay, so what we'll do, this is okay though, because we're going to need a fallback anyway. So so we could just say, let's do something like this. So I'm pretty sure that this means that there's something not quite right about their metadata returning. Okay, so let me try one more thing. Okay, so let's see, maybe if I need to authorize. Okay, I don't have any music on this computer. Okay, it's okay. So let's say if metadata dot size is 0, then we will do all of this. Okay. Else, then we could do something like I'll just put this to a local for the moment. Auto track name equals reader get or file. Let's see. So let's get the file. Let's just get the file name. So we got music file. Okay, cool. So we could say music file get file name without extension. There we go. Okay. So now we'll just try this. Name. So that's a little bit unfortunate. So here we go. It's okay though. We will survive. So there we go. We've got test track. So it should show test track in the console now. Cool. So now we got test track. That's all right. That gives us enough to work from for now. So okay, so let's see. So we have this. So now I'm just thinking of where to put this. So we have load song, and then we should probably have some sort of load metadata. function. So audio player data, load metadata. Metadata is one word. So what shall this take as a so if there is metadata, then it should we could just so let's create one if there is metadata, which will take a std unique, no, not all that, pointer, just thinking if it should just take a reference to the reader. So we can just call it a JUCE audio format reader. So I'll make that a reference rather than a pointer. And then, so if it does that, then we can just put all this in here. So just could just do that. Yeah, just thinking for a second here. So this needs to be a dot now. Just thinking about, do I encapsulate this in one function? Or they're two separate functions? One function just returns a string, because if I have metadata, then you're going to have to parse, you're going to have to go, you're going to have key value, you're going to have key value pairs if you have metadata. Do you want to return that? Or yeah, so I'm thinking, okay, do I need to create some member variables, some class members here, just to hold some of these. So JUCE string artist name, JUCE string track name. So, and then going back into here. So now this will be track name. Only thing now is that you're going to need to pass in both the reader and the track, which I don't particularly like. I feel like that's a little bit confusing. Okay, so maybe this becomes like, maybe if we pull this out. And then we say, so this will go back in our else. So we'll pull all of this out here like this. Sorry, I'm going back on myself now, changing my mind about what I want to do. So that's load metadata. So then we pull this out and we say if once again, now I've got to pass in metadata. If reader get dot meta, what was it called? Get, sorry about all this, metadata values. Metadata values dot size is greater than 0. We have metadata. Then we can just say load metadata, which I need to make a function in my header. And then in here we pass the reader. And then we do an else. And then track name. There we go. So now we're getting there. If we add metadata, load it. Otherwise, fall back to track, to file name as track. All right, so now we just need to get this as a private function in audio player data. So here we go. Now that should stop complaining. Great, so that's stopped complaining. Great, so I'm just making sure all of that looks fine. I'm not just making sure that for code readability that I, do I want to break this into a smaller chunk, but I think this is fine. Okay, cool. So we have that. So we have the track name, and then what I could do is I could provide a just a getter for that. So we'll call that JUCE string get track name cost, and then we will return track name. And then I will do the same thing for just get artist name when the time comes. Yeah. So let's put these in the same order as I have them below, because I'm obsessive like that. Okay, so now we can go to our audio player UI. And then what we want here is, okay, so load button on click. So we're going to need something that's going to repaint our label when our song name label, when it loads a new track. So that's going to send, so let's see here, see the best way to handle this. You're going to want the name, you're going to want the labels to receive a notification when the track has been loaded, right? So audio player data, do you make audio player UI a change listener of audio player data? That is the question that I'm wondering. Just thinking about that. Okay, just going to read a couple comments here. So Anthony Beckett says, if there is no metadata, it may just split it up. Maybe just split it up by a hyphen, drop the file extension and use that. Yes, great. So that's pretty much what I've done. So fantastic. Great to see that I'm not completely off base. Aqua Lily says, hi, the JUCE tutorials you put up are really helpful. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Great. So now I'm just thinking about if the thing that I'm thinking about now is, because what's going to need to happen is that when the data loads, we need to let the label know, we need you to repaint, right? I guess the question in my mind is if the UI should be listening to the data. So thinking about what could be wrong with that. I can't really think of a reason why that would be a bad thing necessarily. If anybody has any thoughts on that one way or the other, I'm happy to hear them. But so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make audio player data a change broadcaster. Okay, So holds a list of change listeners and sends messages to them when instructed. So once again, just trying to think, is there a reason why I would not want that to be the case? Are there any dangers in that? I guess one maybe concern that I have about that is I really was trying to keep from data and UI really knowing about each other. But this is gonna be what I'm gonna do for now. And then maybe I can come back and I can see if there's any danger in my approach. So I'm going to go back here, see if change broadcaster has any pure virtual methods. What's this async updater? Has a callback method that is triggered asynchronously. This allows an asynchronous callback function to be triggered multiple updates into a single. It kind of feels like something that I would, how would that work then? Call back to do whatever your class needs to do. So, okay, so an async. So this would be, that almost feels like what I would want to happen, right? So, but then causes callback be triggered at a later time. So let's see here. So parameter attachment is used to implement an attachment or controller that links a plugin parameter to a UI element. Is it a parameter? So obviously we don't want to do that because this is not a plugin. For now, I'm going to just do I'm just going to do a change broadcaster and a change listener. I mean, one, because I know how it works. So so we got change broadcaster. So data needs to know about so that's the only other thing is that, let's see. So now let's change listener. The problem with a change broadcaster is that we need the listener. We need to add the UI as a listener to the data. Yeah, I don't mind that. It's a little bit of extra work that we're going to need to do in a class. So it almost feels like maybe this needs to be encapsulated together in a place where it doesn't, where I don't need to do this every time. So, okay. So let's So now let's make audio player UI a change listener. So is a component a change? So here's one question that I have, which is the component a change listener? No, it's a mouse listener, which is fine. So I can now add audio player UI as a JUCE change listener. So now what that means is that I'm going to need to add a pure virtual method. So let me just open up change listener in a separate class. So we got this change listener callback. Change listener callback. Change broadcaster and sort, change JUCE, change broadcaster source. That's override because that's, and then I'm just going to create just a comment here to say from change listener. I like to do that just so, I mean, override lets you know, but lets you know that this is a pure virtual method that's coming from one of these classes that we've inherited. But I like to put that there just to clarify sometimes, because sometimes if you're overriding if you're inheriting from a couple different classes, it can get confusing what virtual functions are coming from where. So now we just need to inherit this, or not inherit this, implement this. So I'm going to put this in here now. So here we go, void audio player UI. And then here is where I can say, load, sorry, not, we could say song name label equals audio player data track name. So okay, so one thing that I'm not a fan of, oops, this needs to be get track name. Sorry, this needs to be song label set text. Then pop this little baby in here. Don't send notification. Okay. So one thing that I want to improve here is one of them is called track name and one of them is called song name. So I'm going to change song name to track name just to make all of these the same. So we're not interchanging song and track. We're just going to start complaining now. So let's see, song. So I'm going to find and replace all of that with track. Just hit replace. Audio. See, now I need to make sure all of these are the same. So this needs to be load track now. And then track. and track. There we go. So now I'm going to change this to track. So we're using track, we are not using song. And then we're going back to our data class. So we have this load song. So this needs to be load track now. And then this needs to be load track. And since this is our convention now, we will say load a track to play. All right, so now so let's see if all of that works now. So that's not all of the work that we need to do, but let's just see if we have any lingering. Okay, cool. So that succeeded. Now we want, so now what we need to do is we need to go to a mutual place where the audio player UI and the audio player data are both residing. And now what I need to do is make this a change. So this would be audio player data 1, add change listener. And now that's listening to changes from audio player UI 1. So we can see here that, is that right? Add change listener. That doesn't feel right. Hold on. So what have I done wrong here? Oh, I didn't mark it as public. Now let's go back here. Now that should stop complaining. Okay. So no viable conversion from audio player UI to JUCE change listener. Okay, so does that mean I need to static cast? So my hero, Martin, are you passing the data object to the UI? Are you passing the data object? Yes. To the UI when you construct it? Yes. Am I passing it to the UI? Yes, I am. Yes, so do the add and remove listening to the UI. So you can, so wait, hold on. So you can remove the listener on destruction. Yeah. So, but here's the thing, right? So UI, I'm passing in the data. So this is a change listener. So hold on. So UI is a change listener. data is redefined. Did I mess this up? So data is a change broadcaster. So now I have to add oh, it's that, right? No. That, I think. Yes. So I need to move this. So I'm going to do a to do. Move this eventually into its own class. And then we need to do that on destruction, as Marvin has pointed out. So audio player data 1, remove all change listeners. Okay, so you are passing audio data player to the UI, so the UI can add itself as a listener and remove itself on destruction. Okay, but why? So Marvin says you're passing audio data player data to the UI, so the UI can add itself as a listener and remove itself on. Okay, so I'm just curious what the other way looks like. Okay, so here in here, so this is local to the class, right? So I could say audio player data. Can I do it like that? Oh, I didn't know you could do that. So you could do this. Oh my goodness. I never even knew that I could do that. Amazing. Audio. So this is better. I like this better because then this just encapsulates this into the class itself rather than linking them through the main component. So I'm going to now remove that and remove that. Okay. So this may, oh, I deleted the wrong thing. So do that. Yep, there we go. I think we're good. All right, so this may or may not work because I haven't done any timers for repainting it, but let's just see. Let's just see if it works. So load this. Okay, so so probably, oh, I forgot one key thing. I need to send the message when this actually happens. So so then we will go send change message. Okay, so now that lets it know the file has been loaded. Initiate the callback. So now we're going to do this. Boom, it changed. See that? Test track. And if I change it to alibi, should do that now. Nice. Yes. Sweet. Cool. So yes. Big shout out to Marvin. So cool. So that works. And you know, one problem, if you happen to know the solution to this, Marvin, I would be very impressed, which is that we have metadata that's in the MP3. However, this function of getting the metadata doesn't seem to return anything. Everything is just empty. So if you happen to know that problem space, that would be awesome. But if not, it's all good. So okay, cool. So that's awesome. Another thing that we could do is we could do the track length. Okay, so that's something that we can do quickly and do the same sort of thing. So so the function, so it's actually an attribute. Marvin is asking, or Marvatronics is asking which function in particular that I'm having a problem with. So the problem is that metadata values, which is a public attribute of the audio format reader class, does not return any type of metadata. So so there is metadata in the file. However, it's not pulling anything out for an MP3. For an MP3 or for a wave, which I know for a wave it doesn't do it properly, but for an MP3 doesn't do it for an MP3 either. So so yeah, so that's the problem there, but I'll come back to that later. So let's try another piece of metadata here. So let's do a JUCE string song length, or remember, we're going with track rather than song, track length. Just do that. And now we can, so now let's see, do we have something in here that gives us, okay, so there's sample rate, length and samples, sample rate, length and total length and samples. So you could do some type of math to get what the time is, but I thought there was something that gave you the track length automatically. So we got length and samples. Pretty sure. So this is the audio format reader class. Okay, so read, get channel layout. Just going to do a quick search on the JUCE forum before I start making really, let's see, song length or anything like that. Okay, so current song, get current song time. Okay, just seeing some. Okay, looks like I might need to, or I'm going to try track length. Okay. Yep. So that's what I was thinking, just length in samples divided by sample rate. I swear that I have a function like this, something. Let me just look at something very quickly. One second, just looking at something super secret on my, well, it's not that secret. It's not that secret. There we go. So let's just see if I have anything that shows track length. No, don't see it. Okay. I'm pretty sure I have something like that, but that's okay. It'll be a nice exercise anyway. So we will do that quickly, and then I've got to run. So we could go track length equals so here we go. So we got a track length. So now we just need to, so this is giving us a, so what's a good so I will call this auto L. And then track length, because this is going to be a float or a double. Is there like a from float? Let's see here. JUCE string class is pretty cool. Let's see if there's a function that in the string class that will get us something from a number. So we got string class. Where is that? So I got attributed string. Where's just the string class? Localized string. There we go. So so just looking to get something that where we could pop in a different, so pop in an int or a float. Oh, here we go. So yeah, so it looks like you can get, so you got get int value. So how do I, okay, so here's the question. So this is a constructor. I mean, I could do this. Oh, I could do this. JUCE string. And I'll call this L. then track length equals L. Yeah. Okay, then I just go to audio player UI. And then I'm going to need track length, label, set text, audio player data, get, oh, I need to create a helper function for this. So JUCE string get track length const return track length. Okay. String from value. Oh, I didn't know that that existed. Okay, good. Good suggestion from David Carls. Thank you very much. Where was that? Track length dot string from, oh, what's that? Or is it a stood string? String from value, string from, so what's string from float? So let's see, let's go back. I'm getting some forum help here. String from, oh, not, what about create string from string from data? Can you do that? String from, I've got string from data. I'm not seeing it. Oh. Yeah, turn a float. Yeah, turn a float into a string. So I just did track length equals L like that. I mean, if there's a way to encapsulate that into one line, I'd be happy to hear it. I'll let you yeah, I did it, but I was just wondering if there's a way to do it in one line. So here we go, get track length, then JUCE, don't send notification. Okay, then I would need to turn this into minute second format. Once I've done that. So here we go. Test track, open. Boom. Now it's there you go. It's loaded the time in seconds. So that works. Cool. Oh, can I just do this? So am I able to do this? I don't think that will let me do that. All right. No. Yes. No. Yeah. See, I knew it wouldn't do that. Oh, you could do that? I didn't know you could do that either. Wow. I'm learning some syntax stuff today. That's pretty cool. Now it says, oh, what about this? JUCE string. Can I do that? Okay, that works. Okay. Load, throw this in here. It's got the length in seconds. And it plays. Awesome. So that's a good start. Like I said, I need to just get it into, I'm sure there must be something handy maybe that allows me to knock those seconds into minute second format. But I can work on that next time. Test my programming skills. So Marvatronic says the JUCE MP3 reader does not read metadata. That is unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. So we might have to find an outside solution there. Unfortunately for reading the metadata, but yeah, feels like they're this is a good place to go to stop for now. As I said before, this open source app, this is designed for me to learn, but also for other people that are looking to learn how to create your own audio apps. Also for you to follow along, make suggestions, things like that. What's it called? The repository is in the video description, and you know, you can give it a start. I need some more stars. I think I have about 4 stars on it right now, and yeah, enjoy it. Git commit -m loading, initial loading of metadata to UI, and git push -u origin main. Yes, so I will show you if you go to GitHub, then to JUCE DJ app. Ooh, we have 5 stars. Fantastic. Awesome. So there's the repository right there. You can get it. There are no external dependencies. I did see something, very last thing before I go. I did happen to have a look into MP3 metadata, and I did find this thing from all the way back in 2009, where there's this external library called taglib, and then I started looking into the GitHub repo. Looks like it's popular, 988 stars. And this would actually be a good little exercise. So I shy away from CMake. Luckily, I actually took a look into install. And there's a CMake, there are CMake instructions. I try to stay away from CMake as much as possible, but you know, it could be a good thing to actually make this project into a CMake project. It'd probably be a good idea just to just to learn, I guess. So yeah, I was trying to keep it from external dependencies, I think, because I was just trying to write everything myself or just use JUCE, JUCE functions. But there are other things as well that will probably require libraries like BPM. There's a good open source BPM detection library. There are quite a few things. So as Marvatronic says, yeah, I don't want to spend my life writing code for this app. We want to try to actually move it along. So yeah. And with that, thank you very much to everybody that tuned in. This is awesome. This is really giving me the bug for doing code again. And thank you to everybody that's been joining. I know that sometimes the compile times take a little while and everything, and it takes a while to get everything going. But thanks to everybody. I really hope this is helpful for you. And we will do this again. Maybe I'll do another one this week. So one thing that I want to do is one of the next things I want to do as well is track visualization. So when you load a track, you see a visual of the track. I think that'll be a fun one. That'll be a fun one to do. It's one that can be a little bit challenging, especially if you want to do that Serato type of display where you have a color that is that coincides with the power, the power and the amplitude of the track. So so that could be a good challenge that I'll probably once again, it's one that I've gotten some help for in my other DJ app, but it'd be a good one, be a fun one to do again and just try to push through it. In the meantime, I hope everybody's having a great day wherever you are. And yes, please tune in next time. I'll let y'all know in advance. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening, and speak soon.